皆さん、おはようございます。
Good morning, everyone. I'm Miyauchi from SoftBank. I'd like to take this moment to express my appreciation for your usage of our networks and services. I am very grateful. Also, just like yesterday, I see so many of you coming to join us in this event. For that, I am very, very thankful. What I'd like to discuss in my presentation here is really about new technologies. New technologies are approaching in an accelerated speed. Using these technologies, we can actually achieve growth strategy and structural reform. These two goals are really the shared common goals amongst all of you, I believe. And new technologies are changing everything in an accelerated manner, as you can see on this slide. Technologies will divide winners and losers. So that is what I'd like to discuss. Please take a look at this picture. This is the first generation of iPhone, launched in Japan 2007. In June 2007, in the United States, exactly 10 years ago, 10 years and 1 month ago, smartphone came into the being. And Steve Jobs said, every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. Unfortunately, Steve Jobs passed away without seeing the outcome of what he has begun, but he is the one who started to change the whole world. Please take a look at the market caps of companies in retail industry. Alibaba, we don't have the old data, but if you look at Walmart, Alibaba already exceeded the market cap of Walmart. Walmart is a wonderful company. 2.3 million employees are employed by Walmart, and they actually have over 50 trillion yen of revenue. Gross merchandise value. These companies, Alibaba has already exceeded Walmart in this term. And in 2008, smartphone came into our world. Since then, e-commerce experienced explosive growth. There will be an accelerated competition over AI amongst Google, Amazon, Alibaba, and other players. Even senior end users are able to actually use their voice to do the shopping. Use a smartphone in your pocket to buy something. You can use your voice to purchase something. See, the growth expected for the coming 5 years is going to be more than we can imagine. The same impact is seen in automotive industry as well. Tesla has been very competitive. It is almost on par with the global #1 GM automotive company in terms of market cap last year. It is a little smaller than GM, but Tesla has only shipped less than 100,000 cars. Ford, close to 10 million. 10 times more than Tesla, but they are actually crossing the lines. Tesla is growing fast, Ford is declining. You may have driven Tesla vehicles. It's not simply EV, auto-driven EV. There is a huge tablet mounted on Tesla's vehicle that controls everything about the car. And it's been upgraded electronically, simply. And that's the new world that Tesla has built in this industry. That is also another representation of the power of smartphones. Same for Netflix. It has 100 million subscribers that are paying every month to Netflix. In the film industry, well, this may not be a direct comparison. Maybe Netflix should be compared to cable TV company for the fairness, but as you can see, Netflix actually experienced overwhelming powerful growth. Now, with the advent of autonomous vehicles, we can also look at GPU, NVIDIA, that actually created the graphics processors for games. For the past 1 year, its share prices grow more than 8-fold. This, too, represents a major technology trend that is emerging. If you look at hotel accommodation industry, in Japan, it's been a regulated industry. It's heavily regulated. But Airbnb started its operation in 2008. Since its inception, it is now operating 191 countries. In terms of city, it is operating 65,000 cities. And in terms of number of rooms that they can offer, it is overwhelming number one. Uber, Didi, or Aura, or Grab, they are operating across the world. If you look at the revenue, it is close to 2 trillion yen. And this business model was impossible without smartphones. Some of you may have utilized Uber before. It's very simple. If you go to Silicon Valley without Uber, it's almost impossible to move from one place to another. It's very easy to call a taxi. Maybe it's not exactly a taxi in a conventional sense. So it's really impactful. Uber started its business in 2009. So in that sense, for the past 10 years, less than 10 years, with the penetration of smartphones, there has been a tremendous transformation of all kinds of businesses. As Masayoshi Son said yesterday, all of the industries need to redefine their business models. Now, technologies are currently repainting the total picture of existing businesses, as I've just explained, citing some specific examples. 2 years ago, when I made a presentation, I introduced the word disruption. Back then, 2 years ago, there are a lot of startup companies. The names were just introduced. They were just beginning 2 years ago, but they've all experienced explosive growth for the past 2 years. That really symbolizes the era that we live in, where technology divides winners and losers. Technology has changed the world, changed the businesses, changed the whole society. Now, as I said at the outset, as a manager of business, I see the importance in structural reform and growth strategy. These two values are very strongly needed, and they are very closely interrelated with new technologies. So I'd like to actually introduce what we are doing internally to try to connect these important values. The key to structural reform is really the new technology. It happened so yesterday that Simon from ARM said in this presentation, for the past 20-some years, 100 billion chips were shipped by ARM, but he's also said that he can achieve another 100 billion taking only 4 years. I think what he said is going to be proven true 4 years from today. IoT or AI or big data are supporting companies companies are becoming data-driven companies. So in terms of structural reform, AI can play a role. I have some examples to prove that.
と言ってるのは
The number 40. Well, we counted the AI project which are being worked out in Japan, and there were 40 of them. So we have invited the people who are in charge of these 40 different AI and asked them to speak to you today. And around 300 RPA projects are already in our company. When it comes to RPA, is there anyone who are using RPA? Please raise your hand. Almost none. In a nutshell, this is robotic process automation. The process of using desktop and others can be all automated, and robots can replace people. So this is a software. And as you saw, the word AI is written so often on the newspaper, but the companies which really introduced AI in their companies' businesses, only 1.8%. Even for RPA, the IT magazines usually talk about RPA, but the company which introduced RPA in their companies, only 4.9%. And I think this is very useful for your company, so I hope that you will take a look at them. This is one use case. This is the emergency responder for network maintenance. So something went down or some incident takes place, and the incident responders are very busy with day-to-day calls. Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, they receive a call and go. Our network, however, never down for last 5 years, so don't misunderstand. We don't have this. But the software can predict any incident or any trouble. So our team have to work almost like 11 times a month, that they have to work for the predicted failures or predicted incident. Now moving on to the HR. There are so many people working for us, and it is written by the mass media, so it is well known. And AI is used for ES measurement. I really think that maybe it is safe for AI to judge the performance level of each employee, because sometimes people has preference for the individual. So we have entry sheet, and up to now that the people had to read entry sheet, and it was enormous amount of time really took.
In different business departments, I believe that there is a great possibility for AI to be utilized. This is another example. This is the writing quotations. It takes 46,200 hours. We have a subsidiary company, CNS, that is the IT distribution company. There is about 400,000 items, and they actually receive requests to formulate 750 quotations every day. So RPA and AI are now put to use to improve the situation.
Use cases, only 3 out of 40 projects that are taking place in our company. The use of AI, these are very, very primary, very basic. NLC, the natural language classification, was one example, and R&R, retrieve and ranking. So this is only very basic way of use of AI. In the future, we will make use of deep learning, and we will be able to come up with a new way to bring about structural reform. So up to now, we just worked on the cost reduction or shortening the time, tried to reduce the overwork. And with use of AI and RP, now scientifically, it becomes 1/10, sometimes 1/100 of the time is required with Watson. So I'm sure that there are so many manual work that can be replaced by machines. And 3 people who have given the presentation, but I'm sure that you have a very capable talent in your company. So I hope that you will encourage your youth to challenge. You have to have a collaboration at the field. You always have to check. And the people who know the business very well, and if you are logical, then it's very good affinity between AI and people. We've just started. Within few years, the companies which worked on the AI, which didn't, will make a big difference. August 1st, we are going to hold the at Watson on IBM campaign. 6 API now became 150 APIs, so you can use it for many different type of works. And you may think that AI must cost a lot, but it's just hundreds of thousands of yen. The initial development cost, still hundreds of thousands of yen. So as you saw in the examples, just one person can work within 1 month, and this can also replace 10 people. So it is very low cost, and we will be proposing these type of new projects. We cannot dismiss the growth strategies based on the new technology. SoftBank itself, or SoftBank Group, has Vision Fund and a few other projects. And you may think that SoftBank itself is a telecom carrier such as Docomo and au. But I would say our company is beyond carrier. We've been working towards that goal. So AI project, IoT project, robotics, and the digital marketing, utilities, fintech. As for growth strategy, we embraces all these different types of projects. The area that we can help to improve their structures, and we really would like to do that. To do so, we have to combine IoT, RPA, and AI, and we aim to be a data-driven companies. The data is a life of a company, and data is a core of all the companies. Against that backdrop, IoT platform is very important. Miyakawa will be touched upon IoT later. But in the future, well, we brought information revolution to make people happier, and ARM design chip will be 100 billion chips will be used in 4 years. And these will be used in the utilities, manufacturings, retails, constructions, agriculture, and distributions, and healthcare, and finance. Things to things to people, and people to people. Everything will be connected by the network.